What's up, guys? Well, back to a video, and with Thor Love and Thunder now officially released in theaters, and to me, I thought this movie was like amazing. It was so good, and in fact, it was like a fun and entertaining film. And with Taika Waititi, he really delivered on this one. And with the chemistry and romance between Thor and Jane Foster, it was really good to see. It was really good to see on screen as well. And with Gore the God Butcher in this film, he was a terrifying villain, and with the goats, they were like totally hilarious to see on film as well. With the Guardians of the Galaxy, that they were really fun to see in this film. And with the ending and the post credit scenes, and I definitely set up the future of Thor and everything about the future of the MCU as well. So in this video, this will be my full spoiler review for Thor Love and Thunder. Go over everything that went down in this film, including for Easter eggs and everything that went down, and especially going over the ending and the two post credit scenes that definitely sets up the future of Thor and everything about the MCU as well. But if you have not seen Thor Love and Thunder, this is going to be your spoiler warning. So get out of this video now and come back to this video after you've seen the movie. But if you're new here and don't this, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. So let's get into it. And so with how this movie opens is with our first shot of Gore the God Butcher, and we can see that he has his daughter with him, and we can see that they're on dry land. And now with this, it's giving us Gore's origin story on how with his the daughter who ends up dead, and now with the Gore's daughter Love, it is actually played by Chris Hemsworth, the real life daughter in Hemsworth, with Gore's daughter Love in the comics. Like, she's the one that dies, but instead his son Edgar dies. Instead, because with Gore's whole horrible and tragic backstory in the comics, and now because with the death and followed Gore his whole life, followed by the death of his parents when Gore was young, and with the earthquake that his family perished, leaving him and his son Edgar behind, and then with Edgar he died of starvation, and then we see with Gore in the forest, and then not being so hungry anymore, which we see here in this film. And plus with Gore he had a tragic backstory, especially with his family and with his own kids. And now with Gore and now rubber food and shelter after being put on dry land, and then we also the power of the natural sword and the curse that comes with it as well, and plans to make all gods and extinct them, mean to never exist, especially with all gods. And then we see the Marvel Studios intro, and then we see something new about this new Marvel Studios intro. They added Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, and now with Miss Marvel now in the Marvel Studios intro, this is currently a setup and leads directly into the Marvel's movie, Captain Marvel 2. And plus, we still with the Miss Marvel itself finished yet, but it was nice to see Miss Marvel in the new Marvel Studios intro. And then we get to Thor's life after the events of Endgame, in which it is narrated by Korg, and then we see him getting back in the shape, and then we see him to team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, in which they had very low screen time in this film, in which this is definitely a setup for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but it was definitely nice to see the Guardians of the Galaxy in this film, and then as they are using their own blasters, and then with the Thor, he has his own cloak on, and then right you see his head on top of that rock, and then right where he has his moment, then we get revealed of Ravager Thor, and then he uses Stormbreaker to kill all the aliens with a Stormbreaker, and then when two alien ships get close to him, he ends up doing a split. And then we move on to Jane Foster, who we then find out that she has cancer, and this also happens in the comics. And then we see the return of Darcy Lewis, who we last saw in WandaVision, and then we see Jane trying to find a cure to her cancer, and then we get a cameo by Dr. Eric Selvig, who we last saw in Thor the Dark World, on an airplane on that movie poster in Spider-Man Far From Home, and then was name dropped by Bruno in Miss Marvel Episode 3. And then we see Valkyrie, or like a king of Valkyrie, was like the new king of Asgard, and with this we see here and enjoying what it's like being like the new king of Asgard, and then we see her doing a great opening of a Thanos themed ice cream shop called Infinity Cones with the Infinity Gauntlets, which is pretty cool and funny to see. And now with Jane, like she like has it because that was the cure for her cancer, and then she reads a book about Mjolnir, saying that it will lead someone to great health, and then she sets out to find Mjolnir of where it is. And then we see a play with the duo that we saw in Thor Ragnarok, that I was doing a play on the events of Thor the Dark World with the mad demon version of Loki, like who was playing Loki. And now in Thor Love and Thunder, they're actually doing a play on the events that happened in Thor Ragnarok with Odin now dead. And then we see Hela here played by McCarthy. She's now a version of Hela in this play. And then we see like a Jane like looking at Mjolnir now destroyed by Hela, and then she tries to resurrect it because with this she's trying to find the cure for her cancer, and tries to bring Mjolnir back to life so that she can have great energy and health within her, so that she can become mighty Thor. We see Gore trying to destroy the new Asgard. It's because of that. That's what Lady Sif told Thor that Asgard was next. We see him taking the kids and keeping them hostage now in a cage, which makes Thor like assemble a team to take down Gore and to free the kids. And then we see a fight go down in New Asgard, where we see Thor, Valkyrie, and everyone else trying to battle like Gore's similar creatures. And then we see Thor in a reunion and now with a Mjolnir, and he discovers that he doesn't have the power of Mjolnir anymore, like Jane does, who is now mighty Thor. And then we get the reunion between Thor and Jane Foster, and then we see some flashbacks of Thor and Jane's relationship, and like the explanation and so why they broke up and went their separate ways. And I would see Thor assembling his team, and then as he's making his speech, and then is interrupted by Beak making squeaky noises on the whiteboard, in which this is a hilarious moment that we see. And then it is then revealed that like with the kids that like a Gore as captured and kept hostage, they're in the Shadow Realm, and with the Shadow Realm in the comics, it's a location within the multiverse of Infinite Darkness. And then they'll go to Zeus, because with the Zeus, he was one of the most powerful gods with the lightning. I didn't want him on a team, so that they'll go to a Mount Olympus. And then we see them go to Mount Olympus. We see Zeus there, and we see Thor and the gang dressed up all in disguises, so that they're not called out by Zeus. And then what was the article called out by Zeus with Thor? He now steps out on stage with Zeus having to flick too hard to reveal his disguise. And then we see him all naked, and on his back it says R.I.P. Loki, and which means Thor misses his own brother after he died in the hands of Thanos in the beginning of Infinity War. But with Zeus, he refuses to go with them to fight Gore, and that says that Gore is going to unlock the key of eternity, which the comics eternity is a very powerful entity that can manipulate the multiverse, and is unaffected by the passage of time. And then we see a fight going down, in which we see Jane Foster going all out and killing everyone, and then we see Thor about Korg and Jane all involved in the fight. With Korg, he actually ends up dying, but then is alive, but with his head, and that makes Thor so upset that he actually stabs and kills Zeus. And now with the gang, they actually escape from Mount Olympus, but it's actually revealed to be a City, which the comics is like a parliament of all the pantheons, in which it was built like a long ago by the Great War of the Gods. But then in alternate universe in Earth 14412, it was actually destroyed for when like Shuri like sacrificed herself. Especially it involved all the goddesses with the King Loki's necro ravens, and then we see a conversation between Thor and Jane, in which Jane reveals to the Thor that actually she has cancer, and hoping that Mjolnir would like give her great health and strength. And with the Thor, like he says that with Mjolnir that it would like drain all of her strength and health, even though that she has cancer, that if she uses a Mjolnir that it'll kill her. Which it is a foreshadowing a bit in the final life, but I'll get to that at the end. But with a Thor, he tells Jane and that like she made him worthy with the Mjolnir, and then we see him go and fight Gore. And then we see the battle with Gore, and with the Thor about Ugly and Jane all involved, and then we see the fight between Thor and Gore, and with the Gore actually stabbing Valkyrie, and then with the Jane I think actually end up escaping, but with the Gore actually take a Stormbreaker, and now I have the power of both Stormbreaker and then Necro Sword, and then with Jane she actually ends up in the hospital. It's because she has cancer, and then with the Thor, he decides to go battle Gore on his own, but then in the final battle we see a Thor ending up Thor in a cave, in which we see Lady Death, the Watcher, and then Living Tribunal, with the Thor there, actually decides to battle Gore, but with the kids that like Gore kept hostage, and then are free to go fight Gore with Thor, and then with the kids, and that like they now have the power of Thor with the lightning, and then we see this awesome sequence with all the kids and that are now battling Gore's alien symbiote creatures. And now for this final battle, for the purpose of this is for Thor and Jane to stop Gore from like using the Stormbreaker to unlock the key of eternity. And now with Jane, and now you using Mjolnir, and now to kill Gore, and now with the Jane, and now you using Mjolnir, even though it'll kill her, even though she died, it was the cure for her cancer, and now with the Jane, and now uses Mjolnir now to destroy the Necro Sword, and now with this ending we see the Necro Sword now destroyed, and now with the Gore, what he does, he goes to the key of eternity and decides to resurrect his daughter Love, and now with Jane, like she actually ends up dying because with the Mjolnir it like drained her strength and her health, and then she actually ends up dying in Thor's arms. And at which like Thor is now being taken care of Love, and now with Gore now dead too, and at which means with Love, and now like she has like something big, moving forward in the MCU, and now she is taken in by Thor, but as his own daughter, and then with a Thor and a Love, and they actually end up being a father and daughter, but then they actually end up teaming together, becoming a great team, and then with the Love and now having Stormbreaker, and with the Thor and now having Mjolnir back as well, and then we see them becoming a great team and like battling creatures. And now let's move on to the post-credit scenes. And now in the mid-credit scene, we see Zeus and that he is alive after he was stabbed by Thor. And then we see him talking to someone on how they will be feared. And then we get a cameo by Hercules, who is a son of Zeus. And now that with the Hercules is actually played by Brett Goldstein, who was actually from the Apple TV Plus series Ted Lasso, who was making his MCU debut. And now it's Hercules, and now with Zeus, and now what it wants now, and now with Hercules, and now Hercules is out tasked by Zeus, and now to hunt down and to kill Thor, which is a perfect setup for like the next Thor movie in the near future in the MCU. And now with the post credits scene, we see like Jane and now wake up in Valhalla, and which in the comics, and which after an Asgardian dies, they end up in Valhalla, and then we get like a cameo by Heimdall after we saw him in Thor Ragnarok and killed by Thanos, and then we get getting of Infinity War, and then like welcomes Jane into Valhalla. And yeah, with the Thor Love and Thunder, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was like a fun and entertaining film, and with this being like the shortest movie in Phase 4, again, I really enjoyed this film. I really enjoyed like Thor and Jane's chemistry on screen. I really enjoyed Gore, as you see, was like a terrifying villain, and I really enjoyed like Toothgnasher and Toothgrinder, now the Goats, and I really enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I can't wait to see them in Guardians of the Galaxy by Fury. And plus, after that mid-credit scene, I'm very excited to see what else is in store for the future of the MCU, especially of Thor and like Love, and now becoming a team with a Hercules, and now tasked to hunt down Thor. It is gonna make a great future for Thor now in the MCU, and I just like can't wait for all, especially with Thor and his future in the MCU. So that's me for this video. Let me thoughts in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on Thor Love and Thunder, and what are your thoughts on the film? Give me a rating between 1 out of 10. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to notification bell with future videos, and you can find my Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.